In this video, we're discussing the concept of sets and reps, and we'll also be covering the rest breaks that you actually take in between those sets. This will actually give you a quick overview so that you're more confident when you actually see a plan or schedule a workout, and it will also begin training you with the essentials so that you can actually share details with us on the weekly call. The weekly call actually gives you valuable feedback about how you can optimize the time and energy that you spend training. So let's start with some quick definitions and some examples so that you can visualize these concepts. On page 101 of your playbook, you'll see that there's space for you to actually write some brief notes. A rep or repetition is basically just one full or complete move. So for example, if you're doing squats, it's this move of going down and coming back up. The full move counts as one. Or another example, if you're doing step-ups onto a bench or some other solid surface, it's this move of stepping up and coming back down, and then you repeat the same move with the other leg. So in order for that to count as one, you're doing one right and then left. Now let's talk about what a set is. A set is a group or a series of reps. So for example, if you're doing goblet squats, it's rare that you would actually do just one single squat all by itself. As you can see in the sample strength training workout below, set number 1 has you do a series of 10 reps. And that would be your first set. And after a short break, you would actually do a second set of another 10 reps. And then a third set. And if you still have energy, or depending on how many sets you're completing, a fourth set. And remember, that's just an example. And finally, our third concept is a rest period. This is when you actually recharge between sets to be able to get ready for your next set. That rest period is very important because it actually allows you to catch your breath and let your body recover so that you're actually able to achieve another quality set. And remember, our priority is to only train quality. It's not good for you to actually jump from one set directly into a second set and third and fourth, because it can lead you to exhaust yourself and then you lose control. And if you remember the degrees of effort and pain, that's how you start sliding down the slippery slope of injury into the fourth and fifth degrees. Whenever you're doing sets and reps, you always need to be in control. It matters not just for someone who's getting back into fitness and exercising after a long absence, but also for someone who's advanced and lifting heavier and heavier weights. Part of how you stay in control while you're actually doing your set is by focusing. And this means that you shouldn't talk during your set. You're welcome to talk any other time, before your set or after your set, but never during your set. Even if you're getting feedback about your form, it's best to put the weight down and then talk about it and make those adjustments on your next set. The benefit is that you're developing hyperfocus both physically and mentally. So if someone is wanting to have a conversation with me during my set, I just say specifically, I'm going to get my set in right now and I'll talk to you in a moment. And then I put my headphones on and I start what we taught you with feel. I focus, I engage, I put in the effort, and I listen to my body. And I suggest that you simply do the same for yourself. So now that we've covered how to optimize your sets and reps, very quickly, let's talk about the do's and don'ts of quality rest periods. Here are some things that you actually want to do when you're taking that rest between sets. Get some water, stand and enjoy some breaths. Make a quick note and log what you just did. Maybe shake it out or walk around. Do some light stretching. Dial in your music, making sure that you've actually got a great song queued up for your next set. Go to the bathroom if you need to, or maybe even quickly say hi to someone. But what you don't want to do is stay on the equipment or sit down. And there are actually a few reasons for this. First, when you just sit still on the equipment, you're reducing that blood flow and circulation. That can lead to stiffness and discomfort, especially after high intensity lifts. Second, when you stay on the equipment, your body is often in some kind of position where something is folded or maybe crunched, and this means that your muscles aren't fully open in a great position. However, by standing up and shaking it out, you give these muscles a chance to actually leave the position and open up fully. And so that's going to actually help you recharge faster. Your muscles need to stay warm and feel ready for your next effort, not stiff or compromised. Third, Standing up and moving around gives you an opportunity to practice the optimal posture that we talked about before. Chin up, eyes direct, shoulders back, right? But see how if we actually stay on the equipment, it's much harder to actually use that posture because the machine makes you actually hold yourself in a different position or shape, right? And yes, it matters to walk around the gym with this posture because this is one of the ways that you can actually accelerate the development of your own confidence. And finally, if you need another reason, you'll improve your daily calorie burn and burn more calories by standing up and moving around than you will by simply sitting still. And another thing that you don't want to do during a rest period is any deep stretches that are actually more than 10 seconds. So light or quick stretches to be able to work the kinks out is usually okay. And it might be necessary to actually help you get ready for the next set. But it's important to not go longer than the 10 seconds because long stretches actually communicate something specific to your body. Long stretches send a signal that you're done training. And now it's actually time to switch gears and rest and recover. And that means that the blood flow to your muscles starts to change. Those cells get the memo that it's time to power down those energy levels. But if your plan is to actually go back into the next set and increase the weight levels, you need your body to actually stay warmed up and ready to go, not turn off. Because the thing is, when you do deep, long stretches, your muscles relax. Relaxed muscles are the opposite of activated muscles. When you're strength training, it's necessary to keep your muscles activated for the reasons that we talked about before. Your body needs to be ready to go for the next set, not powering down. Again, this is a way to actually open yourself up to possible injuries that are very easy to avoid. And the third thing that you don't want to do is rest for longer than 3 minutes. That could actually happen if you have long conversations or get absorbed by your phone. This is because while you're resting, your heart rate can drop and your muscles can cool down, which reduces blood flow. This in turn can actually make it harder to maintain your momentum, your focus, and performance for the rest of your workout. So as long as you don't do those 3 things during your rest periods, you're going to set yourself up for success. Now let's take a closer look at a sample training tracker. This gives you a great example of how to understand how you can combine sets and reps to create an entire workout for strength training. You can see in this chart, we've got the exercise or move. And in this case, the first one is goblet squats with a dumbbell, and then lunges with dumbbells in each hand, alternating the right and left leg. And finally, step ups onto a bench or some kind of stable surface, again, alternating the right and left leg. Notice on the far left, there are some notes. The first exercise is what we call a primary lift. There are a lot of different things that you can do as a primary lift. In this case, it's the goblet squat for our example. The exercise that you do after the primary lifts are called secondary lifts. And when we walk you through the various complete workouts in a future video, you'll see as we go that we tend to prefer primary lifts that actually engage multiple muscle groups because it's the most effective and efficient way to train. And then across the top of the chart, you can see sets 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the numbers of reps and how many pounds are being used for each move. So for example, the goal for set number 1 is to do the first 10 reps at 0 pounds, which means that you would just use your body weight with no extra weights or anything. But then in set number 2, you would hold a 10-pound dumbbell to begin gradually increasing that challenge. And depending on how you feel in set number 3, you would add more weight, 25 pounds. And then in set number 4, you might do the maximum weight of 30 pounds. All right, that's your quick introduction to sets and reps with rest periods for a single exercise, what they are and how they work. There are just a few more essentials to cover, and then you'll see how to actually build and customize your complete workouts. So grab some water and let's keep on moving.